With our potential snow event here in the Willamette Valley being about 24 hours out, it's time to find out whether we're going to get a quick inch out of this or if this will be an absolute nothing burger. This is meteorologist Hannah Leach coming at you with this update. As of when I'm recording this, which is 11 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday night. There are no watches and warnings up for the Willamette Valley. I will note that the National Weather Service is moderately confident someone in the Willamette Valley would get 1 to 2 inches, which would trigger a winter weather advisory, assuming that happens. So the setup for this, which path will it take? The low pressure system is currently situated off the Washington coast, a little bit closer to the coast than I anticipated because it's not taking as big of a loop-de-loo as I thought. I think this low pressure system will be more leaning towards the southern path of the two that I showed yesterday. I anticipate a landfall early Thursday morning somewhere in northern Lincoln County to Tillamook Bay, somewhere in that 30-ish mile range before it slides southeast from there. So anywhere to the north would have a better chance of snow. I'm saying that with some emphasis because the temperatures are going to be marginal at best. Now, that track is better than if it were to go further north because that keeps the south wind out of the Portland metro area. Even a south wind of 5 miles per hour is a snow killer. Calm winds or a slight easterly wind, which is what I'm expecting, will make it a little bit better. Easterly winds would only be like 5 miles an hour, if that, though. So it's not going to be like it was last February where east winds are gusting up to 40 miles per hour. So, quick forecast notes. One thing I will note is due to the closer than anticipated low pressure system, I am anticipating some showers now today with some very isolated spots seeing snow. I don't really expect anything in the form of accumulations at the valley floor. Thursday, I am still thinking the best chance for snow is in cold air dam areas. So, Forest Grove, Sheridan, Dallas is examples of that or in heavier precipitation bands, assuming we get moisture. Like the Euro model tonight showed that not a lot of moisture is getting past the coast range Thursday morning. This is also a morning event. Only any accumulations will be brief. We will be jumping up into the mid 40s on Thursday. So, taking a look at a wild card factor here, and this is something some high resolution models are latching onto, is a heavier band of precipitation setting up. This specifically is the HRDPS model, which is the Canadian High Resolution model, and it shows a heavier band of precipitation forming over Washington County. That would increase the precipitation rates to lower that snow level a little bit more than it otherwise would. I'm specifically choosing this model to show a more extreme example of what may happen. Other models aren't even showing this at all. I have noticed that Washington County is the most consistent spot for this, and that does line up pretty well with that low pressure track as well. So I'm leaning more towards Washington County is the only spot that I'm seeing really any potential for snow accumulations because as we go into the next slide here is the temperature forecast from this same model. And this is the coldest on average that I saw. And this is at 2 a.m. Thursday morning. Temperatures on the east side of the metro are 35 to 37 degrees according into this model. And on the west side of the metro, oh, if you're damming up right by the coast range, it's closer to about 32 to 33 degrees on this. I will note if you are in the Chehalem Mountains or the West Hills, no model models that correctly. I would anticipate you're right around the freezing mark or 31 degrees. Further down in the Willamette Valley, low temperatures would struggle to hit about 36 or so. And then what does that entail for our snow totals? If you are in most areas of the Willamette Valley, I'm anticipating 0 to 1 inches. I will note most of these valley locations are going to be on the lower end here. Again, that exception is the Washington County area that are affected by cold air damp. So more specific communities would be Banks, Forest Grove, Cornelius, maybe the west side of Hillsborough in an aggressive scenario. And then sometimes the Chehalem Mountains can see a cold air dam effect. So I have included a sliver of Sherwood in this, but like the rest of the valley, most of these locations will be on the lower end. So I have it as traced to 2 inches, which if most locations are on the lower end, that means the most likely scenario is still a trace, which, sorry kids, expect to go to school on Thursday. The coast, I am anticipating this scenario is going to be a little bit better just because of the heavier precipitation if you're from Newport north on that. And one interesting thing with this is because of the fact that it is a weaker system, the Coast Range is going to eat a lot of the moisture. So 2 to 6 inches is what I'm expecting in the Coast Range from 1,000 to 2,000 feet, but the equivalent band in the Cascades, the 2 to 6 inch band, would go up to about 3,000 feet. The ski resorts, I'm still expecting probably 6 to 12 inches for. All right, and moving on to our timeline here on today's schedule, we have off and on showers throughout the day, high temperatures in the mid 40s. Snow's possible in the heaviest of cells, but I think it's a little less likely than yesterday after the morning hours. As you move into the overnight hours, I don't expect the snow chances to start really until right around 10 to 11 o'clock, where precipitation rates might get heavy enough. If we're on the drier side of these models, though, expect this to just be rain or possibly even dry. I'm anticipating the lowest temperature to briefly drop to 34, but it's not going to stay there for long. I think 35, 36 is going to be the going rate for Portland proper before high temperatures start to creep back up to the mid 40s on Thursday and snow chances really diminish. Moving on to our 7 day forecast, we will start with the southern Willamette Valley. And I will note that while the low temperature is going to be the same as Portland's, that's primarily a factor because the South Willamette Valley doesn't have as large of an urban heat island as Portland proper, despite them being under southerly winds. It's not a super strong southerly wind, though. High temperatures are in the mid 40s as well, though about 2 degrees higher than Portland's temperatures. And then Friday and Saturday, mainly dry, high temperatures getting closer to normal before getting a little bit above normal on Sunday before going back into the rain making systems on Monday and Tuesday. And for the Portland metro area, very similar or forecast dry Friday and Saturday. Rain starts to come back late on Sunday and really comes back on Monday and Tuesday. So that's going to be it for this video. We'll see what happens tomorrow in terms of how this pans out. I think I will come out with an update tomorrow, but I'm not going to guarantee it, especially if this ends up being a nothing burger on it. So until then, please stay safe out there and take care.